What is going on, everyone? We are back with another review, and this time we are reviewing Season 1, Episode 25 of the Twilight Zone. And the episode is called People Are Alike All Over. Please remember to check the link in the description below. Hop on over if you want to go to the Patreon and sign up. You'll get every video I put out a full week early. With that being said, guys, it's time to talk about another pretty decent episode. Now, this episode is not as good as the other three that we watched before this. It's still decent, though. It's still up there for me in terms of Twilight Zone episodes. So, to give you a quick rundown, it starts off with two guys on Earth. They're getting ready to take a voyage. They're getting ready to take a voyage over to Mars. And they're going to Mars in order to honestly touch down on Mars. They'll be the first human beings on Mars. And it's the night before their flight, their blast off, and they're talking about, the fact that instead of living life on Earth, they're, for their last night, in a long time anyways, they're going to stare at their ship. And one of the guys admits that he's afraid of it, but you know what? They're going to do it. So they blast off. All of a sudden, you find out that they crash land on Mars. And the guy that was scared manages to be 100% fine. The other guy ends up getting hurt really badly. And the scared guy injects him with something, probably to cure some of the pain. Dude sleeps for a little bit and wakes up a little bit later and wants to leave the ship. The scared guy doesn't want to open the door. The hurt guy ends up dying, succumbing to his internal injuries, and all of a sudden the ship door automatically opens. He is then confronted by what looks like other human beings. Come to find out, he is now able to speak to them in their language because of some sort of thought transference. He meets Tilna, or whatever her name is. I don't remember what they called her. And the rest of the people there, or the rest of the small group of people there. And they said that basically they're going to prepare a home for him. They just need him to sleep in the spaceship overnight. So he does. He goes to sleep, wakes up the next day, and before he went to sleep, though, the lady basically told him to not worry. They're not going to hurt him. And he was like, all right, cool. So they then take him to his new home, and they're like, okay, we know you want to meet our people, and we want to do that. What we need from you is to go ahead and stay in here for a couple of days while we prep everything for you to meet everybody. And the guy agrees to it, and he's super excited. He's like, you know what, people are alike all over. And he's sitting there. He drinks what he says is the best scotch he's ever had. He's got cigarettes. He's got everything he could need. And he goes to the sink to get him a glass of water. And as he's sitting there drinking water, he realizes there's no window looking outside. And he's confused. And he's like, wow, okay. So he goes back out to the living room. Or actually, he goes to leave the kitchen to go outside. And he goes to open the door, and it doesn't open. And he shakes it, and it seems stuck. He then walks out, goes to the main door that they originally came in, and it was closed. And he's like, why'd you guys lock me in? What are you doing? And he tries to a couple other doors, and they don't work either. So then he goes to the curtain to go open it up to look outside, and when he opens up the curtain, it's just a wall that's there. He panics when he realizes there's no windows, and he can't get out. What is going on? At this point, he walks away to the middle of the room, looks around for a second, and then all of a sudden you hear what sounds like something opening. And the wall is opening, and it's revealing what looks like prison bars, but it's a cage. And he looks outside, and there's just people sitting there staring at him. And he walks up to the edge of the cage. He reaches down, grabs the sign that's out in front of it, and flips it around and reads it. And it says, Earth creature in its natural habitat. He sees old girl out in the crowd. She gets upset and leaves, and everybody else that was also seeing him, that had also seen him before is out in the crowd watching. with other people from the planet. And again, another good opportunity just to talk about how bad humanity really is. Because again, if you guys really think about it, that is a very solid portrayal of humanity. Like anything we find to be different or adorable, like we put tons of animals in cages. I do know, by the way, that a lot of zoo animals are animals that could never survive in the wild. And I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying that has not been the case most of the time. Really good episode. And I didn't go over everything like I normally do, and I do apologize. This was directed by Mitchell Lazen, based on a short story by Paul F. Fairman. Teleplay was written by Rod Serling, and it was released March 25th, 1960. But yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it is going to end up going up near the top of my list by the time it's all said and done. So I do enjoy it. All right, guys, that is going to do it. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.